Summer solstice got me high, yeah. Does it make you wanna scream? Summer solstice got me high, yeah. Does it make you wanna scream? Summer solstice got me high, yeah. Does it make you wanna scream? Summer solstice got me high, yeah. Does it make you wanna scream? Does it make you wanna scream?
Wow. So what we'll do, we'll have the window down to begin with, I think, just because we're going to die. If
Yeah, I'm dripping.
Not. Yep. Same. So, how hot is it?
Extremely hot. The temperature gauge is reading 29 degrees, but it feels like it's about 50 to be honest.
I think it's lighted, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to be like 32 degrees
Yeah,
minimum.
definitely.
Wow, it's just so hot. So we're having to do it with the window open currently, so I don't pass out and kill us both.
I've got like the rough end of the stick as I can't mount my DSLR camera on this window without it being all the way up, so I'm currently getting no air, so that's great. It's all for the content.
Exactly, all for the content.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I'll put the window up just for a minute. It's quite noisy anyway because there's no back seats in this car.
Yeah.
So this car runs a racing line carbon rear strut race. The big meth tank in the boot, which is a Devil's Own kit. We've relocated the battery into the boot because we basically put the turbo where the battery was, in the engine bay.
Right.
They call it a sidewinder or whatever you want to call it. So we run a pipe out the back of the engine, which is only a square on these, like two little ports. That's what the Golfs are, rather than an individual port, and then that runs that up to the turbocharger. It's a GT3582 Gen 2 reverse rotation turbocharger.
Okay.
3-inch exhaust system. It's a Scorpion exhaust, Wagner intercooler. One of our own intakes we just made with a big, just a big air filter on there. It's a billet intake manifold from a company in Greece. I can't remember the name or pronounce it. Genuinely can't remember. So, but that has direct port meth in it, and we have an extra meth jet in the throttle pipe going up to the throttle as well. So there's 5 meth jets in the car, to try and keep the temps down and to give it a bit more octane. It runs a PMU torque bike fuel pump controller in the back as well, which runs a PAG Parts billet brushless fuel pump system in the tank as well. So, and then we also run, we've got 1100cc injectors in the port as well, and it's got bigger DI injectors, which are from an Opel, which are about 15% bigger than the normal coal fire injectors. So we've got plenty of fuel there, because if we want to run it on the 85, then you know it's going to have that extra fuel. It's a fully built engine in this car, so it's got Marla Motorsport pistons in. It's got integrated engineering Tuscan I-beam rods with ARP 625 rod bolts, which are much stronger. We can rev the car past 8,500 if we want to. We're not going to, because we want a bit of longevity with the car.
Yeah.
The cylinder head runs APR valve springs. We run ARP head studs holding the head down. We also run our own 30mm exhaust valves. So these have 28mm and an exhaust valve and a 34mm intake. Well, the ratio to that's quite big, so we've lifted the valves by 2mm on the exhaust to try and, because at the end of the day the engine's basically a pumps air in and out, and the faster you can get it out, the quicker it'll come back in basically, and more power it'll make. So we found that by increasing that, it should help quite a lot with restrictions that you do find on these engines, and that's where we're at with it. The ECU software is full custom software, logged by ourselves. The changes are made by Stan from EcoTune in Scotland.
Okay.
So he's done a lot of work with the 85, and you know, we trust him. We've done that particular software is done with Stan. The gearbox software on this car is TVS. It's not actually currently finished, but that's going to be done in the next couple of days. So, and that's it. We have a Plex boost controller because it's external wastegate as well.
Right.
So, because we run external wastegate, we run a Plex PBC Pro, which has EGT and everything in it, and it's a cooling mist kit for the meth, which is from the guys at Devil's Own from Bruce.
That's nice. So, I did notice that when I got into the car. It's a cool little addition as well, even visually.
Connor's made a little carbon panel for it to sit in, and
it's really cool.
Did a little nice job of that there, so yeah, it's pretty good.
Does the owner of this just solely sort of track it? Is that what?
No, he doesn't track. He likes to go to Santa Pod, but he just does a bit of everything, you know.
Right.
So he just likes to just do that. So.
What a sound!
It's off,
really,
isn't it?
Yeah, it bloody does get off. It's rapid.
So it runs an external wastegate. So we launched them with no boost.
Okay.
So I'm not here to break his car.
Yeah.
So it launches off with no boost, then goes.
Interesting.
But you can feel when it changes gear, it goes again and again. It's
climbing.
Yeah. It keeps going. So we're running the car between 2 bar, and it ramps up to 2.5 bar later on.
Right.
So we want to run it more down low, but it's not really something that at the moment, until we got the gearbox software in there from TVS and we've fine-tuned everything, then we're just going to do it bit by bit and then try and get some good times with it.
That's wicked.
So low 10's where we want to be. I mean, theoretically, with the 85 in it, we'd like to be able to get in the 9s with it, I think. I don't see why not, but it'll be whatever it'll be, It's 4-wheel drive as well, this car. So out of the factory, it was 2-wheel drive. We've done a full 4-wheel drive conversion on it. So, well, that's actually a lie. I haven't done a full 4-wheel drive conversion on it. Awesome GTI did the 4-wheel drive conversion on it originally, and then we've done some extras to it afterwards and changed the gearbox to a DQ500 and things like that. So
nice.
I don't want to take the credit for doing that because we didn't do it. But I mean, the car's great. It's nice and quiet. You can drive around normally, as you noticed earlier. We were driving around on the way to take some pictures, cinematics. And I was like, look how cool this car's just drives around and it's quiet. And you were like, it's got suspension. It's got the Bilstein B16 coilovers on there, Super Pro top mounts, the camber ones, and then we've got the Vagbren Technic 390mm AP radical front brake kit, the Vagbren Technic 352mm disc upgrade on the back as well. So it's got some monster brakes on it. Yeah, and then we run I think this has got the DS 1.1 brake pads in it, I can't remember.
So has he took the rear seats out just for weight reduction, or?
Yes, he did, yeah, and these are the, it's got the Corbo recliners in here as well, which have got, they're heated as well. We wired in the heated seats down here. Nice. So do you want me to turn yours on so you can try it?
Fuck, I couldn't think of anything worse.
Please don't turn my heated seat on, please.
Oh dear.
Literally, it must be literally 50 degrees in this car right now.
It's mega. It is mega.
State of me, man. Sweating! But yeah, so it's got new speed wheels on as well. Nice. So I mean, the car's it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I think the wheels set them off really nicely as well.
Yeah,
they're cool.
Sick.
Complement everything, all the accents of the car. Has it got an aftermarket front splitter and rear?
Yeah, it has. I can't remember the name of the company. Harvey got that himself and we had it fitted. It's got SRS wider front wings as well.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yeah.
Cool.
So we got him the front wings and we fitted the splitter for him and had it painted locally. Steve and Paul at Style House did the paintwork on the car for us on behalf of us for Harvey. So yeah, that was all done. But yeah, I mean the car itself is just put the window down a bit so I don't die. The car itself is just a really, really good car. Really good car.
Yeah, it feels really.
And it's quiet, and then obviously it's got a screamer pipe, so the wastegate goes to air. You know, it doesn't go back in the exhaust. It can do. There's a port for it to go in, but we've blocked that port off and then just ran it to air because the exhaust's quite quiet. Harvey was a bit like, oh, will it make any more noise? I was like, do you want a screamer pipe? I was like, yeah. So I put it on and I was like, he goes, what does it sound like? I was like, It's really fucking noisy.
It is cool.
And he's like, oh, is it? I was like, yeah. I said, but it doesn't do it till you boot it. Like, we drive around normally, he's like, oh, that's amazing, perfect, that's what I want.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, so we did something somebody wanted.
It's epic.
It is epic. It's nice to pull you got to be like, because it really pulls hard, you've just got to control the standard pops and bangs that everybody wants, you know.
Yeah.
So this is just normal fuel with meth. We're on about 80% of what the turbo will do on normal fuel. It's because it's 30 degrees outside. I don't really want to be putting on 100%. You know, I'm all about saving the car really, not about, you know, causing a big problem for the car. Yeah, havoc for the car. So obviously we came off in second now. We can come off in third, and you could feel how the lag is.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, the car's, feel it, it's responsive, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not laggy like dead.
No,
it's actually really responsive, and that's to do with the way we've built the engine. But that's coming off the roundabout now, and then this is where it'll build boost, and then it makes lots of cool noises with the wastegate and sure the turbo chatter and things like that.
Yeah,
so.
it does.
Man, it's hot.
It is very, 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 very hot. I
hope you guys appreciate what we're doing right now.
I know. It's hard to even focus. And fair play to you for getting all your words out and remembering everything that's even been done to the car. So
I mean, the under boob sweat that I have now must be absolutely horrendous.
Oh dear.
They're coming for us.
They're coming. Well, they generally might have been for a second.
No. Probably some one of our viewers maybe rang them or tweeted them and reported us. Again.
Oh, still can't believe that. Bloody hell.
I'm never letting it go, you know.
No, I don't blame you. Yeah, it does feel like a really planted car, though. I think the way all the components rather complement each other is just like you say. Really, really good build, and it sort of ticks all the boxes that you want in a car of this sort of caliber. That's great. How much did this build sort of come to cost-wise and altogether compared to something like, say, the RS3 converted Golf R? Is this like?
Do you know what? I actually have no idea.
Okay.
Because it's not all been done at once.
Right. Yeah.
And really, that did just happen.
Clever, got that on camera.
Here we go.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, I mean, the problem is because there's so many parts on this car. I dread to think it's probably horrendous, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought it would be, to be honest.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's probably absolutely fucking horrendous. The thing is, I bet I've spent just as much on it in time that we've not charged as well. And purely because you want to on something like this. You can't do these every day.
No.
If you did this every day, I'd be bankrupt, mate. Because, you know, the time you spend, you don't get paid for.
Yeah.
Harvey would want to pay me for it because that's what he's like, but I couldn't because it wouldn't be fair.
Okay.
And, you know, because he's a good, really, really good customer. One of the nicest blokes you'll ever meet. So I do it, and Connor does the same. We stay back and do stuff, and you know, he wanted something just different, and he gets so excited that it makes that's enough happiness for me. Yeah. It's my good deed for the year. Don't get me wrong, he doesn't not pay, he pays, but you know, you just can't. If you do a job and it takes 10 hours, really, you probably only charge 5 for it. So you charge 5 for it, you can't, you know, so. You can't charge him 10. You can't charge him 10 hours or whatever. So it's not like that with every job you do, but just with some jobs. So
roughly how long's he had the car for?
I reckon he's had this 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
it's not like a.
Okay.
And this car was like, it was stage 1, then 2, then hybrid,
right,
then 4-wheel drive, then a bigger turbo, then so it had a V4, then a V5, and then it was built engine V5, and then it went inlet manifold, and then it was like a structure to it, and then he was like, oh, I just want like over 600. I was like, well, the V5 will do it, but you're gonna have to run high boost levels and like mega fuel all the time, or we just put a big turbo on. And I'd already started making this kit on another car that we put an RS3 engine in, so I had it. When we put it on, when we first had the kit fabricated, the fabrication company that did some bits for us, they put the turbo on an angle like this, which I said don't do, and they fucking did it anyway. So it smoked. Because basically what happens is oil drains back into the housing. Theoretically it shouldn't, but this particular turbocharger does do that. Some turbos don't have like the collector in and it has a little drain hole. This hasn't got it, so this particular turbo smoked. So we'd done it all, and then it was like, we need to stop it smoking. So I tried restrictors, this, that, lowering the fuel, oil pressure and stuff to the turbo, and I just thought, I'm trying to fix a problem that just wasn't done right in the first place. And I can't really live with that. So what I did was, I actually asked them to do it again. They charged me again to do it again. And then basically they did it wrong again, so we've ended up putting it right. So it's a shame really, because I thought he was a decent enough player, and they basically told me to fuck off at the end of it. He said I haven't got time. It's like, right, okay, thanks.
That's a shame.
After I'd helped him out with a few things, but that doesn't matter. Shit happens at the end of the day.
True.
So you can't win them all, mate. Yeah, that was pretty much what happened with this. So we've done. What else have we done on it? We've done loads of little bits, and he's had it for ages. But the car itself is, it's a mega car.
It really is. It
Absolutely
really does feel
car.
grand. Yeah.
Feels grand. I love that. Love that. Feels grand.
Feels grand.
Feels like about 70 grand.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Awesome.
I bet Harvey's thinking. I mean, he'd be trying to. How much have I spent on it? Don't add it up, for fuck's sake, because then I'll know what I've spent on it as well. Sweet.
Good. Wicked. Guys, please smash the like button and make sure you are subscribed, because that was hard to do in this heat, trust me. Cheers.